you're living in Pittsburgh. You've done some projects for Pittsburghers. Do you get to see your stuff out in the world? What does that kind of feel like?
It's like, I think I get too excited about it when I see it. Like, I want to go up to the person and be like, hey, guess what? I made that thing. Like, but I definitely have taken some secret pictures just so I can be like, check it out.
Hey everyone, it's Stephanie. Welcome to this week's episode of The Slaw. It's the start of Maker Month, which means that for the next 4 weeks, we're interviewing folks who, well, make things for a living. And up first is graphic designer Paul Hagerty. So, Paul, thanks for joining me today.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me. What I mainly focus on is I do logos and branding. So that's kind of like what got me into it. That was like my original design focus in college. And then I got more into graphic tees and like merch, which is nice because over the summer I got to do a really cool branding sort of merch package for a local musician, Tim Vitullo. He has a band and I got to do his album cover and revamp his whole look for his new album. And we did buttons and tees. I've done a lot of work with Workshop Pittsburgh also. Mm-hmm. They've been super cool. I'm currently working on rebranding their whole look.
You made them a t-shirt, which I can vaguely sort of see on you, right?
Oh, yeah. This, yeah. So this design, I actually made this for them right at the beginning of the pandemic because I knew local businesses were struggling and I just wanted to make them something to have for free and just to be like, use this, put it on stuff, make money from it, like, you know, whatever, to help you guys out. And now they're using the sales to get food to families. It's cool to see like where a design can go and what it can do, you know? So I made that. And I also made a collection of stickers and pins for Highway Robbery. They're a vintage clothing store in the South Side. Mm-hmm. There's a little Pittsburgh guy.
Bridge, yeah. What sort of path led you to pursue a career in graphic design?
So I have a really interesting story, I guess you could say. My dad was in a local metal band. They were called Sanction. They were a Christian metal band. So like I see pictures of Slash and it reminds me of my dad. My mom, she helped manage the band and she would make his stage clothes. And my dad, I remember him drawing posters for their shows. And now that, you know, I'm doing this, it makes sense that I kind of went that way because, you know, I was always around that kind of stuff.
What sorts of things inspire you as an artist?
I mean, obviously, I love artwork. I love film, and music is huge too. I really respond to moodiness and like the emotion of things. So like artists like Bon Iver and Radiohead, I really like the idea of getting that feeling first and then trying to create something that has like a real feeling when you see it.
Your style is modern vintage moods. And so what does that mean to you?
I think there's like a fine line between like vintage and costumey. It's as if like the 70s never ended. It's just like they kept going, you know?
Okay, that's
so it's
cool.
like if that was still like the, you know, the culture today, like what would that look like?
What makes you make stuff, right?
Yeah.
So you make t-shirts and you make pins and you make, well, it's exactly probably what you grew up with, which was merch.
the merch stuff.
Yeah.
And it's fun because it's like, it's a template that you can kind of plug anything into. And it's funny because there's like nice artwork on a pin or a t-shirt, but then you can also find like the most generic, random, weird stuff.
Is there some sort of universal design rule that you always adhere to in your work or that you wish other people maybe did more?
I think what I would say is to not be too precious about things. I guess that means like, you know, not taking anything too seriously. I've always liked the idea of if you need to throw it away at any point during the process, then just get rid of it and start something else. So it's a fun thing to do. So, you know, have fun with it.
If you could have like an ultimate Pittsburgh project to like design, what would you want to do?
Wow. I would love to do like typography mural someday. That's like a dream job.
Where would you want to put it?
There's a coffee shop called Kelvin, and they're right across the street from this big pink building, and it would be so cool to do something on that.
We're putting it out into the world right now, so you never know. Someone could be
pink
listening.
Building. Yeah, I don't know.
If you own the big pink building across the street from Kelvin. But we always ask this at the end of every episode, and it is, What is your favorite bridge in the city of Pittsburgh and why?
It's got to be the Clemente Bridge. That's the one I based off of the sticker. Mm-hmm. It feels like a cool, balanced design. And then the smiley face fit in the center perfectly. But yeah, there's just something really like nice and balanced about that bridge.
We are going to put links to your website, Instagram, to the Threadless. All of that will be in the show notes. And Thank you so much.
Cool. Yeah, thank you.